UK's ancient nuclear submarines are still radioactive, and they're costing hundreds of millions of pounds to store, the report says. At Sputnik News, Ministry of Defence has a fleet of 20 legacy nuclear submarines at dock facilities in the city of Rosyth in Scotland and Devonport in southern England. The report by Public Accounts Committee of the British House of Commons has accused the military of failing to move fast enough to dispose of the ancient nuclear submarines in storage at facilities in the UK ports. According to the watchdog, disposal is being carried out at a glacial pace, and risks running out of both storage and maintenance space if something is not done fast. The Ministry of Defence is rapidly approaching a crisis point and simply cannot afford any further delays, particularly as much of the money currently being spent on the project is not going directly towards either defueling or dismantling, the committee said. Auditors pointed out that of the 20 submarines retired nearly 40 years ago, 9 remain radioactive, since they have not been defueled, and not a single sub has been fully disposed of. The storage has already cost the government £500 million and costs an additional £30 million each year that the programme continues. Commenting on the report, Public Accounts Committee Chair Meg Hillier blasted the exorbitant spending, calling it simply unacceptable and charging the government with having failed to see the bigger picture. Quote, in an attempt to save money in the short term by delaying the defueling and dismantling of retired nuclear submarines, the Ministry of Defence is now spending £30 million a year of taxpayers' money on storage and maintenance, Hillier said. Defueling of the Navy's legacy sub was suspended in 2004, 15 years ago, amid changes in the UK's nuclear regulatory legislation, with the project now £800 million over budget and a decade and a half behind schedule. Difficulties include lack of companies willing to take the waste, issues with procuring transport to carry the waste, and other problems. Praising the Ministry of Defence for making some progress in restarting the deactivation and disposal process, the report nevertheless emphasizes that based on the current pace, plans to complete the dismantlement of the first submarine in the list, the HMS Swiftsure, by 2023 remain only ambitious and will run 3 years late. Commenting on the same report, the Ministry of Defence spokesman said that while the disposal of nuclear submarines was a complex and challenging process, the military remains committed to ensure they are disposed of safely, securely, and cost-effectively, with progress already made in this direction. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the UK spent $39.6 billion, that's £50 billion, £39.6 billion on defence in 2018, ranking it the 7th in the world among countries with the top defence spending behind Russia. The Royal Navy presently has 4 strategic submarines and 6 attack submarines in its arsenal. All of them are nuclear powered. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.